John Urschel, this is a word thrown around loosely about usually people like you and me. He's a genius. I don't know
what's so funny. I don't understand. I wasn't laughing. Go ahead.
Well, I agree with the part about Bryant.
Sorry. He's a genius. He's a math genius, and he's also this is rare. He's a math genius who was an offensive lineman in the NFL for the Baltimore Ravens. Well, if you're a genius, do you really want to hit your head 100 times a week, against some other guy who's as big as you? Well, when we interviewed him, when we sat down with him and spent time with him, the answer was yes.
Okay, here's the situation. You're down 14 points. There's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And you score. Do you go for one or do you go for two?
That's John Urschel, the 6'3", 315-pound offensive lineman for the Baltimore Ravens. I think we're talking football. And then, like a blindside hit, a math seminar breaks out.
So now the question is, when is this sum greater than 50%? So all we're going to do, we're going to just see where's the breaking point.
Yeah, what do you want from me?
I told you your algebra was going to come in handy.
The blackboard, by the way, is in his bedroom, just in case a quadratic equation pops into his head in the middle of the night. You love football.
I do.
You love math.
I love math. I just love how clean it is, how, there's a right answer, there's a wrong answer, how if you tell me something, you have to prove it.
But since football is an inherently violent sport, the question is always out there. Is John Urschel risking too much?
I recognize that this is somewhat irrational, but I am doing it.
But your math abilities you don't want them to get scrambled.
No, that's true. It's more important to me that I'm able to do the two things I love. I don't know if people have really done things like I've done before. I don't know if they'll do it after me, but I enjoy carving out my own path and not listening to what people say I can and can't do.
Bernie, as we noted, John Urschel clearly had a change of heart.
Yeah, forget about all that.
Yeah.
You just
do you think, and I'm not saying you talked to him in it, but do you think really he sat there and saw it and said, really, maybe this deserves a second look?
I'll tell you what he says. He made his decision to leave pro football 2 days after a major study came out that said 110 out of 111 NFL players who had donated their brains had CTE, which is the bad stuff that causes dementia and all that. 2 days afterwards, and he says, I'm just reporting, he says, it's a coincidence. That's what he says. That's his word, actually. It's a coincidence. It had nothing to do with it. He wanted to spend all his time going for his PhD at MIT. And here's what he's done since. He published a paper in I'm sure you all know, the Journal of Numerical Analysis.
Oh, my favorite.
You get that, you subscribe to that, Mary, right? And it was on chondroital Voronoi tessellations.
Oh. You mispronounced it.
I may have. And right now, he's spending his time thinking, I'm just reading what he says, thinking about graph theory, machine learning, and numerical analysis, which leads me to wonder if his brains got scrambled before he left, or
Bernie,
if this is stuff I just don't even know what I'm talking about.